The quiet hours of the early morning hold a unique power, a stillness that seems to whisper promises of productivity, clarity, and purpose. For centuries, philosophers, leaders, and innovators have praised the value of rising with the sun. And in modern times, this habit has become a hallmark of many successful individuals, from CEOs to artists, athletes to scholars. Those who achieve extraordinary things often share a common trait. They begin their days while the world around them is still asleep. But why? What is it about the early hours that seems to unlock such potential? The answer lies in a combination of psychology, biology, and the simple mathematics of time. When the distractions of the day have yet to surface, the mind is free to focus, to create, and to plan. The early riser steps into a blank canvas of time, unburdened by the noise of emails, meetings, or social obligations. This uninterrupted space becomes a sanctuary for deep work, the kind of concentrated effort that moves projects forward, solves complex problems, and fosters innovation. Consider the science of circadian rhythms, the internal clock that governs our energy levels. For many people, the brain is most alert in the morning, particularly after a full night's rest. Waking early allows individuals to harness this natural peak in cognitive function. Studies have shown that early risers tend to exhibit higher levels of conscientiousness, a personality trait linked to goal setting, discipline, and long-term achievement. By aligning their waking hours with their body's innate rhythms, successful people optimize their mental sharpness, turning the morning into a window of heightened efficiency. This isn't merely about checking tasks off a list. It's about engaging in meaningful work that requires creativity and strategic thinking. A novelist drafting a chapter at dawn, a scientist analyzing data before breakfast, or an entrepreneur refining a business plan as the sun rises. These are moments when the mind, uncluttered by the chaos of later hours, can operate at its highest capacity. Beyond productivity, early rising cultivates a sense of control. The act of waking before the rest of the world sends a psychological message. I am in charge of my day. This mindset is critical for success as it reinforces agency and intentionality. When you choose to start your day on your own terms, you set a tone of proactivity rather than reactivity. Instead of being swept into the current of other people's demands, you create space to prioritize your own goals. Many successful individuals use this time for rituals that ground them, whether it's meditation, exercise, journaling, or simply sipping coffee in silence. These practices are not frivolous. They are acts of self-respect that build mental resilience. A morning routine becomes a foundation, a non-negotiable pillar that supports the rest of the day's activities. By investing in themselves first, early risers ensure they have the energy and focus to invest in others later. Health, too, plays a role in this equation. Waking early often correlates with better sleep hygiene, as those who rise with the sun tend to align their schedules with natural light cycles. Exposure to morning sunlight helps regulate melatonin production, improving sleep quality and overall mood. Furthermore, early risers are more likely to engage in physical activity, whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, or a gym session. Exercise in the morning not only boosts physical health, but also releases endorphins that enhance mental well-being. This creates a positive feedback loop. Feeling good leads to better decisions, which in turn reinforce the habit of waking early. Nutrition also benefits from this structure. Those who start their day with intention are less likely to skip breakfast or grab unhealthy snacks on the go. A mindful morning meal fuels the body and mind, setting the stage for sustained energy throughout the day. Another often overlooked advantage of early rising is the opportunity for reflection. In the stillness of morning, there's room to think deeply, to evaluate priorities, and to align actions with long-term visions. Successful people don't just do, they think. They ask themselves tough questions. Am I moving in the right direction? What adjustments need to be made? This kind of introspection is difficult to achieve amid the noise of a busy afternoon or evening. The morning, by contrast, offers a mental clarity that feels almost sacred. It's a time to review goals, visualize success, and strategize steps forward. For example, a teacher might use this time to plan a lesson that inspires students, or a musician might practice scales with deliberate focus, knowing that repetition in these quiet hours will lead to mastery. The social dynamics of early rising also cannot be ignored. By completing important tasks before others have begun their day, successful people create a buffer against interruptions. Imagine writing a proposal without the ping of incoming messages, or preparing for a presentation without the pressure of back-to-back meetings. This head start reduces stress and prevents the feeling of playing catch-up. It also allows for greater flexibility later in the day. When the bulk of high-priority work is done by mid-morning, there's space to handle unexpected challenges, collaborate with others, or even take strategic breaks. This balance between structure and adaptability is a hallmark of effective leadership. Early risers don't just work harder, they work smarter, leveraging time in a way that maximizes both output and well-being. Critics might argue that success is not confined to a specific wake-up time, and they're right. There are night owls who thrive in the late hours, and creativity knows no strict schedule. Yet statistically, the correlation between early rising and achievement is hard to ignore. One reason may be societal structure. The world still operates on a timetable that favors morning activity. Schools, businesses, and institutions typically begin their days early, so those who align with this rhythm have a practical advantage. But beyond logistics, there's a deeper cultural narrative at play. Across history, mornings have been romanticized as a symbol of renewal and potential, from Benjamin Franklin's famous adage, "Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise," to the monastic traditions of pre-dawn prayer. The morning has long been associated with virtue and ambition. This symbolism matters because it shapes behavior. When successful people wake early, they tap into a collective belief system that equates dawn with opportunity. They join a lineage of thinkers and doers who viewed the first light as an invitation to greatness. Of course, adopting this habit requires sacrifice. Waking early often means prioritizing discipline over comfort, choosing to forego late-night distractions in favor of rest. Yet this trade-off is where character is built. The decision to rise before the alarm feels necessary is an exercise in self-mastery. It's a daily reaffirmation of one's goals, a small but significant act of commitment. Over time, these choices compound. The writer who dedicates an hour each morning to a novel will over months have a completed manuscript. The entrepreneur who spends 30 minutes daily learning a new skill will, within a year, have expanded their expertise exponentially. Success is rarely the result of grand sweeping gestures. It's the accumulation of consistent, deliberate effort. Early rising provides the framework for this consistency. There's also an element of mindset involved. Those who wake early often speak of the tranquility that comes with watching the world transition from darkness to light. This daily spectacle, a reminder of cycles and renewal, can inspire gratitude and perspective. In a fast-paced, achievement-oriented culture, mornings offer a moment to pause, to appreciate the gift of a new day. This gratitude fuels motivation. When you begin your day with a sense of abundance rather than scarcity, you approach challenges with resilience. A difficult project becomes an opportunity to grow. A setback becomes a lesson rather than a defeat. The mental reframing that occurs in these quiet hours can transform one's entire approach to life. It's worth noting that the benefits of early rising extend beyond the individual. When a person cultivates the habit of waking early, they often influence those around them. A leader who models discipline and focus inspires their team to adopt similar habits. A parent who rises early to prepare for the day sets an example for their children, teaching them the value of time and intention. In this way, the ripple effects of a single habit can amplify success across communities. The morning becomes not just a personal ritual, but a collective opportunity, a time when families connect over breakfast, colleagues collaborate with clarity, and friendships deepen through shared moments of stillness. In the end, the question of why successful people wake up early is not about glorifying a specific hour on the clock. It's about recognizing the profound relationship between time intention and human potential. The early hours are a tool, a space to cultivate the habits, mindset, and health that underpin achievement. They are a declaration that one's goals matter enough to claim the best part of the day for them, while success is rising early offers a tangible way to tilt the odds in one's favor. It's a choice to meet each day with purpose, to honor one's ambitions with action, and to build a life that reflects not just busyness, but meaning. The quiet magic of the morning, then, is not in the time itself, but in what we choose to do with it, how we plant seeds of effort that, over days and years, grow into extraordinary outcomes.